Hi everybody, welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Jalen Hurts continues to ball out. Fired up for this one, locked in. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, quick reminder, we have revamped the Quarterback School Patreon community. There has never been a cheaper, easier, more streamlined way to support the channel. In addition to supporting the channel, you also get significantly more Quarterback School content. So if you're looking to take your game, your understanding, your support to the next level, you just want more Quarterback School content, you will love the Quarterback School Patreon community, really trying to create the environment of what it's like in an NFL quarterback room. So all sorts of detail, nuance about quarterback play, passing coverages, passing concepts, pass protection, run game unit, defense, offense at the absolute highest level. Get over there, check it out. I sincerely appreciate it. The link is in the video description. As for this video, let's get into it. All right, Jalen Hurts balling out. We're going to see what the film says. The film says that we need to work on our hots. The first thing that jumps off the film. And this isn't a one take, one example type of issue. This is something that continues to pop up. So right here, the offensive line's turning to the left. We need some sort of hot to the right. So again, just watch the center. Everyone's favorite new podcaster. Nice job. Going to the left. We're hot off 3 to the right. I have no idea what the right guard is doing. You almost never want to leave a defensive tackle. In fact, I can't think of a case where you would want to, unless you're doing like midline. But we need to have some sort of hot. So what does that mean exactly? That means that when they're bringing 6, so they're bringing 6 at the line of scrimmage, we only have 5 blocking, that we need to have the capacity to have some sort of answer right here. And it's not that hard to do. But again, you be the judge here. Look and see if it's baked into the system. Almost always, whatever side you're going to be hot off, so we've got a +1 here. They're bringing 3. We only have 2 blocking to the right. One of these guys needs to run and peek, or run a flat, or run a stick, or run a bubble, anything to alleviate the hot pressure. We cannot rely on Jalen Hurts as a scheme to be able to do this and have free runners through the A and the B gap. Now, does it cost them to lose a game? Does it cost them to even make this thing close versus the Commanders? No. But you do not want to live in this world. We got to have better systemic answers to pressure, because it will continue to come up even in this game. Next one, 2nd and 13 here. We've got an over and an in up top. Watch that in up top. He goes outside. He take an outside release versus inside man coverage. Going to be really hard to win. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever seen it. I've seen it more in the slot, but there's no good answer here. So a little play action. Man, I love Hurts' footwork. He's lined up to the left. Everything really but the decision. And really the concept. And so what I mean by that is, I think everybody, there's no problem with running an over and a deep in with your good players down the field. I think we asked the flat to get out here. That's great. But when you catch man, so man, middle field player. So this over really has 2 over 1. You could make the argument if you held on to it long enough, you could maybe work all the way over here. But let's just talk about this in up top. When you take an outside release, which I would say is not the release we want on an in-breaking route, and he stays in your inside hip so that he's essentially running in phase with you, it's going to be really hard to get. Now, occasionally, you'll stay on this type of leverage if it's inside slot and it's like 2-man and you know they're going to be jumping a certain type of technique. But right here, there's no good way to run an in at the top of this thing with him inside of you. So what would you do? You maybe need to come down, potentially get this check down runaway. But again, versus man, they're just going to squeeze up and run with him in his hip. Maybe you could make the argument that he could run here. Now, he's definitely doing a great job of giving his guys chances to make plays down the field. But this is just not one of them. So again, just check the leverage out. 2 over 1 on the over. And then that in outside, running against the technique of the corner. Really tough to get. Really tough. But it doesn't take away from the improvement we see within the pocket. So the play action, he's going to be lined up to his left. Watch his footwork. A little dovetail even. Get lined up at the back. Let it rip. Now, playing this thing over again, not there in the in, not there on the check down. Let's take off, get 5, get down, as opposed to forcing it down the middle of the field. Next one here, 3rd and 6. We got a slant up top. I love it. Empty. Get the ball out on time. Beautiful rhythm to it. Love the footwork. Love the base. There's a lot to like here. He's lined up to his left. All his cleats in the ground. Accurate. Decisive. A lot to like. This play, they run a few times in this game. They run at the end to ice the game as well. Little slant, what should normally be an inside fade. I think he goes inside here. Normally you'd want to go outside fade here. Locked hitch, and then some iteration of like a stick here. And this is just a great job from Jalen Hurts, taking what's available to the boundary, to the short side, 2-on-2, free access on the outside wide receiver, meaning he doesn't have bump or any sort of coverage at the line of scrimmage to negotiate, and that's just too easy. Inside out. I love putting both those guys on the same side of the field as well. Really nice. Next one, 3rd and 8. Okay, this is another hot situation for me. Now, we'll talk through it as we watch it here, but should be hot. There are no good hot options. Normally you'd say, hey, verse 0, if we have enough time, can we throw a post? I love it. 55 here, the middle linebacker type, he's got a case of the slows. Normally, on a green dog, he should get home and hit the quarterback here. But let's just assume, let's operate under the assumption, which is never that good, that they stink at green dogging. Green dogging just means that 55, when he has the running back in coverage right here, and he goes into block, once he blocks, we're now going to go from man coverage to adding on to the pressure. Let's just say that in our preparation for this game, we know that they are terrible at green dog, so we can take a shot down the field. Okay, great. I love it. Let's take a shot down the field. Well, a post is great, but a post from the slot versus press, not great. Especially, again, we're talking leverage. He goes outside release, and now this player is on the inside running with him to our post. It's just not good leverage when we're going to run the route towards the technique of the DB. For me, and this is just for me, and I think for most quarterbacks, if we're going to get a +1, so they're going to bring essentially 6.5 here with this late green dog, and we're hot, I want to see some sort of hot. Just, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be like a side adjust where you break off your route, but just when you feel everything go, get your eyes around and let me catch it and throw it and put it on you. Because it works versus the Commanders in this game, but I'm telling you, over the long haul, other teams are going to see this and feel like, hey, they don't have hots built into their package. Like, where should he throw the ball if 55 was faster? You tell me, who's looking? Where's the hot? It's 0. And again, maybe they knew that they had enough time to get this thing off, and good for them, and they're the greatest game planners ever. But not every team is going to roll like this. So I think it's important. Well, yeah, we're going to celebrate. They're making some great plays, and Jalen Hurts is balling out. We can get better in how we operate in this hot unit in pass protection, because the slows there not going to work. Next one, love this play call. Screen to the left. This is some terrible tackling from 31, the safety down here to the bottom. But great job from Kelsey. This is a clinic tape. Getting out, making somebody miss, getting the end zone. Love it. My favorite touchdown passes. Watch Kelsey here. Everyone's favorite new podcaster. Slide out, not go downfield. Eyeball who's got the back. Cover him up. That's how you get that PFF grade up. Really nice. Again, great play call. Alleviate pressure. Make it clean, easy for the quarterback. 3, put it on him. Block downfield. Terrible tackling. Touchdown. Yes, please. That's how you get your red zone efficiency up. You want to know how you get red zone efficiency up? You can run the ball down there and you throw screens. And they hit with this one. They miss later on a power shovel, which is essentially another screen pass. But this is how you do it. Love it. Next one, 4 verts, bottom of the screen. Give your guy a shot, go make a play. Go get the rebound. Now to me, this ball comes out a little flat. You know, would normally like to see a little bit more trajectory, and we've seen that of him before. The positives here are that he gives his guy a shot, and his guy goes up and makes a beast of a play. But I think we can acknowledge that if he puts that thing down his line with a little bit more trajectory, this thing might score. So as we're running, we're trying to drop this thing out of a helicopter right onto the line. When you throw a flatter ball, it just makes the miss radius smaller. He doesn't have enough time to adjust, and we can't run through it because he's got to go up and get it. But it's better than a foul ball. It's way better than a foul ball. And when your guys are making plays for you like that down the field, you just want to keep feeding them. And I love the aggressiveness. I love the amount of times that they threw it down the field. And that's just going up and making a play. So much to like. Next one, 3rd and 5. This is a great example of mesh by the 2 number 2s, and an even better example of a great offensive line picking up what should be a hot. Okay, so the first thing here, check the right guard out. Okay, little shaka signal. Shaka, little 2 hands. That usually means double fan. So what is double fan? Double fan usually means that these 2 have the 2 most dangerous, these 2 have the 2 most dangerous, and the center gets paid all the big bucks, not really, to be on an island. They don't normally love this, but that's normally what it means. So pass pro wise, for the quarterback, what that means is that I'm good unless they bring 3 on these 2 or 3 on these 2. Normally. Okay? That makes sense. They're going to fan out for the 2 most dangerous, fan out for the 2 most dangerous. Well, that's what happens here. We get hit with off the edge, defensive end, and inside backer. Now they run a little twist here, but they're bringing these 4. Technically, we should be hot. Okay, this is the difference between technical and actually playing the game. The only way you pick this up is instead of going double fan, you go 4-person turn. So he comes over, now we're in a 4-person slide, and it just puts the left tackle on the island. But, okay, so they're in double fan, and they get hit with 4 from the field, and they pick this up because of the stunt. This is as good as it gets, pass protection unit in empty. Watch them sort this thing out. Watch the left guard. So he starts in his fan. He starts out. Okay, he's working out to the defensive end there to help the left tackle. He gets pinched, and then the left tackle comes off and gets the inside linebacker. So on the right side, the right guard fanning out. Nice job helping the center as well. And the left tackle and left guard are able to pick that up. So to me, we should be hot here, but the pass pro unit is outstanding. We're blocked up. It's a nice mesh route, and we turn into punt return right. So when I'm talking mesh, watch the 2 number 2 receivers, the one up top. He's going to set the pick. Boop. And we got it. That's 3rd down execution. That's awesome pass protection. Shaka shaka, double fan. Are we hot? Now, again, just because it's great pass protection, and it is, I still get a little nervous because we should be hot, and it doesn't look like we have any hot options. Next one, 3rd and 8, touchdown. This is a great job. Jalen Hurts, little signal up top. Again, Smith and Brown on the same side, issues. Little 5-yard in route with a slant. We'll talk about exactly what this stress puts on a defense here. But first of all, you got these 2 dynamic wide receivers on the same side. You see Jalen Hurts here with the easy signal. Gets exactly into what he wants. And this is a great way to essentially beat a double team. So what am I talking about as far as double team? They're going to make the decision here that they're going to double the inside. They're going to double Smith here. So when both these guys go, it's essentially just one-on-one out here. 5-yard in, take it, catch, collision, touchdown. Now, defensive answers here that you'll see here that other teams will use will be, instead of just saying, hey, we're going to lock on this double, many teams will essentially try to do like a 3-over-2 here. So what does that mean? That means that when the inside receiver goes in, the inside of the 3 is going to take him. So then this essentially turns into one-on-one, and defense likes their leverage there. He's then going to fall off into the outside wide receiver, who's then running that short in, and then we've got issues here. So that's how you would play it if it was defense. This isn't defense school. We're going to celebrate the quarterback, and he is balling. Getting into the play you want, signal, wearing empty, decisive, get the ball out quickly, good pass protection, touchdown. Love it. Again, you can see the operation at the line of scrimmage here. Sees what he likes, signal, watch 37 and 20 go with the inside slant. Both of them go, clears out that space, catch, collision, touchdown. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. It lets you know when we go live, when we put out new content. I certainly appreciate the support for the channel. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, revamped, relaunched. Check it out, support the channel. I sincerely appreciate it. In addition, we've got the Quarterback School courses, really the premium content available through the channel, going into all of my favorite topics of football, really in-depth, deep course dives that you will love if you love the Quarterback School channel. Get over there, check out all those courses. And then finally, we've got a bunch of additional free resources available. We've got a Pass Pro Quiz. We've got a play calling tool. We've got a free passing game, quick game course. All of those things are great resources and can be found in the video description. Get over there, check it out. I sincerely appreciate it. As for the video, let's get back to it. Next one, 37 seconds left before half. To me, this is a great opportunity by Jalen Hurts to recognize the defense, give your guy a shot again down the field. Watch 22 at the bottom of the screen. To me, he's poaching. We're in some iteration of quarters. It looks like there's a safety that comes over late. So just looking at the shell of the defense here, it looks like they're in some sort of iteration of split field coverage here. It doesn't really matter what it is. I love the fact that we've got this big post. Check the leverage he's on here, right? He's on the numbers. He's inside the numbers. We've got outside leverage and a post. To me, when I'm saying some iteration of poach here, means that he's not playing true quarters. He's almost eyeballing over here, trying to steal the vertical from the other side. So essentially, this is one-on-one to the post at the bottom of the screen. And we've got the leverage we want with the corner outside and nobody in the middle of the field. Now you say nobody in the middle of the field. Well, how the hell is this guy getting here? He's playing quarters, and an over from over here is bringing him to the party, which is fine. It's going to happen sometimes. But the thing I love about this throw is it keeps him wide. It's not like a post across the field. So that keeps him that vertical post, whatever your landmark is, whether it's the near hash, whether it's the near upright. Watch this thing play out. Again, you can see that deep safety on the other side of the field. He's high staying over that over, and then it just brings him to the post. Doesn't matter, he can't make the play. Again, giving our guys shots, they're going up, making plays for us, but we are chucking it down the field. And this is some great pass protection. Look at that. Nobody around us. Go up and make a play. Love it. Next one here, 2nd and 1, power shovel. We're going to read number 90, the defensive end up top. And we're just going to throw a bounce pass instead of a chest pass. Now, I will say here that this is not the easiest flip in the world, but this is way harder than it should be. So what is this play? I think I have a whole video on it. Everybody thinks of the Chiefs doing it the best. We're going to read this player right here. They actually run a version I kind of like where he's going to bluff the guy that we're reading, 90 right here, and then he's going to get off into the flat. He's essentially the pitch option. So if he comes up the field, all the offensive line is doing is blocking power. Gap down, gap down. They're going to go right here, and then we're going to wrap, pull for the play side inside linebacker. This guy's going to be unblocked. We got to collision him at the end zone. And so it's easy. It's clean. This is there. We got an easy read here on the conflict defender. If the conflict defender were to not get up the field or to get down and kind of squeeze this thing, then we would just keep rolling out and try to throw to the flat or run. So that's that kind of triple option element of the power shovel. So you can see it's there. It's going to be a touchdown pass walk in. I will say that when I used to do this, I preferred to underhand it with my right hand. I'm not familiar with the like dart technique like this. Some guys will option pitch it with their left. I just think it's easier to spiral it underhand. But again, you know, now we're creeping up into almost like 5 plays where you're like, man, if we hit these 5 plays, this is like a magical day. But it's there. It's a great play call. It's a great job stealing what other teams have been running in the red area for a long time. Dialed up. Only other thing to pay attention to for me here is who's running the power shovel. I personally think this happens too far. So we're in the wing here, right? Center, guard, tackle, tight end, wing. You know, sometimes you'll run it from right here. Sometimes you'll run it from like a sniffer position, a fullback position. This is about as far you can do it. Sometimes you'll see teams get nuts and do an inline Y. You know, from the wing to me is just, it's going to take a little bit more time. You're like, oh, that's just one position over. It matters when you're in these tight, condensed, really fast operating plays. Tough. Next one here, 4th and 2, touchdown pass, bottom of the screen, corner. You know, this is a great throw. High back 5, 4th down, got to give your guy a shot right before the end of half. You know, watch the corner. Look at the leverage on the corner versus the corner. You know, not what you would think is a great job, but he's always open at 10 feet high. So when I'm talking leverage, again, you know, we've had some poor leverage and some good leverage in this game so far. When you've got outside leverage by the corner and you're running a corner inside, you essentially are making this corner. When you make him go over the top, it's just what the DB wants you to do. And if you can hit this ball where you put it high and only give it to your guy, you know, good on you. And this is good on you. This is Jalen Hurts at his best right here. This is precision in the passing game. Tight red area. They've got good coverage. We've got a better ball. And that's a hell of a catch too. Don't get it twisted. But that is a dime accuracy. Great decision as well. Just a lot to like here in this drive. And some to learn from with the power shovel. Next one, first play, second half. Huge, wide ass open over coming from up top. You know, Jack Del Rio, halftime. Not the dust up you're looking for from the Commanders coming out making their adjustments. Just wide open. Again, great pass protection. If we're going to talk about Kelsey and playing center in the podcast, watch him here. I'm not sure what this technique is called, the old chill and hug. Brother-in-law, that looks like the 10th rep of a blitz period in practice. Just chilling on the defensive line. But this is a great job from Hurts. You know, not forcing it down the field, taking the over. Again, love the aggressiveness of the play calling. This is a fun offense to watch. There are explosive plays all over the place. We are accurate driving the ball down the field. Look at that, right on him, perfect. And it's wide ass open. Not sorry that we're being aggressive, hooking up these big plays. But to close this thing out, there are a handful of what I would say are misses. This to me is a very similar play where we're working the over at the bottom of the screen. From the sniffer, he's on the over. It's not there. We got to move. Look at the in coming behind it. So if there is anything that's missing from this game, from this film, from Hurts, it's just the ability to get through a couple of these reads. So if it's not there on that first option, to not necessarily panic, but to buy a little bit of time within the pocket, get through that read 1 to 2, because this is an example of this is here. We can do this all day, every day. We've already seen him be able to hit this over. Usually this over is paired with an in, and it's usually on the front side with a big post that they've hit multiple times. So you almost like alert 1 this thing, 2, and then 3. And you can see here for me, when Hurts hits the back of this thing, he might have to move a little bit, but he can stay within that pocket and just go 1 to 2 right here and make this throw easy. And if we start seeing that creep into the film consistently, you know, it's going to be almost unstoppable to stop this offense right now. But you can see here, you know, Why does he take off? Yeah, someone flashes in his face, but instead of not hitting the back and running up, let's just keep our base, slide, keep our eyes down the field, over, no, in, yes. And again, is it the end of the world that we scrambled and got a few yards? No, but you can see the room for development just from within the pocket with some of these plays down the field. This next one's another example to me of potentially forcing a post. So earlier we talked about the big post right before half about being a good decision versus quarters. This to me is potentially a force. Now, if it's a better throw right up the hash, it's probably a touchdown. So again, how mad can you be? I love the aggressiveness. If we're going to live in the aggressive world, let's let these things rip. Okay, that's fine. The ball brings him back ever so slightly inside, and the corners then, or the safety's then able to recover. But let's acknowledge here what this is defensively. This is some poor safety play. So we've got a post safety. Middle field is closed. For some reason, he's looking this way and baseball turns out of there. Now, just off pre-snap here, normally this is dead. But let's say we can manipulate the hell out of this guy. And we can get him to move this way and stay flat and make him turn like this. Well, let's keep this big 8 skinny over the top and kind of down this near hash. You want this thing to stay right, almost like an inside vertical. Because if you bring it towards the middle of the field here, you're just going towards that middle field player. So again, is this forced? 6-1, half dozen to the other. If it's not there, where would the ball go? So watch the middle field player. Who knows what the hell he's doing? Play action. Hurts is looking to the bottom. Slow. Now let's check the over that we've already hit a bunch. Is the post not there? The over's big hit. So just the detail as far as the accuracy, staying down the hash, keeping it skinny. If we're going to let it rip, okay, let it rip. I love it. If we're not going to, let's go through the process, get through the read, get to that over again for another big chunk. So just little things there as far as potential for more improvement moving forward. But then this last one, 4th and 4, slant at the bottom of the screen. Again, love the decisiveness. Love the base, the footwork. Love putting it in. Hurts his hands here with 4th and 4 to ice this thing. But just watch his lower half. This is where the real improvements come from me. Rhythm out. Now, the other thing you should have noticed is that we are hot again. Okay? We have 5 in protection. They're bringing 6. This is 4th and end of game. Okay? This is what they're going to go to. Many teams will go to. Now, why does it work? It works because we have a quick game on. These aren't hot throws. In quick game, it's just you play the quick game and it comes out fast enough. But you can see here, we've got multiple hot options. So they certainly can do it. They certainly have elements of the quick game that allow them to operate hot. But for me, man, I am nervous about the hot protection and our answers to it. But this element of it, dealing from empty, driving the ball down the field, there's so much to like with this Philadelphia Eagles offense right now. So that is a wrap. Jalen Hurts, week 3, balling out. The Eagles are on fire. I love their personnel. I love their group up front. They've got weapons on the perimeter, and Jalen Hurts is getting better and better and better. And even saying that, there is still room. There's still video evidence where he can make the growth to take it to that next elite level. Watch out, league. It's going to be pretty special because he's already dynamic right now. He's already delivering the ball down the field. His guys are making plays for him. He can certainly create with his feet. You couple that with maybe a better understanding, a better systemic approach to dealing with pressure, dealing with hots in the pass protection unit, and being able to maybe get through a few more reads from within the pocket. My goodness, watch out. They're going to be fun. They already are fun. They're going to be really dangerous as far as a team to beat in the NFL. So fired up to see more and more of Jalen Hurts. Thank you so much for hanging to the end of the video. I sincerely appreciate it. I will see you next time. Have a good one.